Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about George Santos's efforts to keep hidden whoever is helping him stay out of jail by being a surety, guaranteeing the loan that he was able to post for $500,000. So recall, we have Santos gets into Congress only for everyone to learn. Though I've suggested before, there's good evidence, reason to think maybe Kevin McCarthy, among others, knew, but too convenient for him to have Santos as one of his very thin margin. Anyway, Santos, it turns out, has falsified detail after detail about his past, some crazy ones like, his mother being in the World Trade Center on 9/11 when she was nowhere near the place, him having been a star athlete or something in college, but oops, he never went to college. Really, really wild stuff, most of which is not a federal crime. It turns out you can really say all kinds of lies. But the 13 counts basically come from the combination of lies and federal filings. So on financial disclosure forms or on FEC forms. And those resulted in fraud schemes, alleges the Department of Justice, and that's put him in hot water, where to get out temporarily, he posted bond of $500,000. But given his to-date squirrely relationship with Money Matters, people want to know, and the media has come in and said and made a motion. We'd like to unseal. We want to know who these three mystery people were who support the talented Mr. Santos at this point. Is it foreign money? Is it political helpers? Who, it seems like a foolhardy or super duper loyal kind of conduct. So which is it, and what does it tell us about Santos's potential political debts to pay and the like? So that's not so unusual, but what happened next is really unusual. Who knows if it's accurate, but Santos's lawyer stood up and said and opposed the media's motion to reveal who has guaranteed Santos's loan or his bail money, saying that the people would be subjected to potential grave harm, and they'd be, abused verbally, and he suggested they'd be in physical danger, etc., which, tells you quite a bit about the position that George Santos is in society generally in June of 2023. Anyway, the magistrate judge, so the basic structure of the federal courts, there's a district court, a court of appeals, the Supreme Court, but district courts have magistrate judges. They don't have life tenure, but you call them judge, and they help out and do a lot of the judicial work. A magistrate judge here, who's looking at bail, that's something the magistrates often do, agreed with the media and said, I'm going to unseal these names. And his lawyer said on behalf of Santos, before I will permit that to happen, I'll go to jail. That's what Santos said. So much is he worried about the safety of his, his guarantors. He'll go to jail rather than let people know who they are. Now, of course, people who understandably suspect Mr. Santos hear something like that, and your, antenna quiver even more. Really? He's saying he'll go to jail? If it's so, that means if he loses the motion, he either completely closes up his tent and looks like that it was just puffery, or maybe he goes to jail rather than have their names revealed. Well, what does that say about who these people are? And it makes it a matter of even keener public interest to know who it could be that he would actually even assert, but if he actually would. So the magistrate holds these, there's a presumption in favor of disclosure of public information. You haven't made a good enough case. I'm disclosing it. But he knows that Santos wants to fight it all the way. So he's given him until Friday to appeal to whom? The district court that the magistrate judge works with and for. So a regular trial level federal judge. And that judge is going to, decide. Would be pretty unusual, very unusual for a district court to overrule what a magistrate judge has said. This is obviously a different and unusual legal motion in and of itself, but that's still, I think the smart money would be betting on it to be affirmed. He can then try to appeal to the Second Circuit. You can, potentially have appeals there, but I think basically at the end of the day, the magistrate's decision will stand. And we'll really see if George Santos means it when he says, before revealing the names of these three people and subjecting them to, I think he says, grave danger, I will accept confinement. I mean, really? So that would mean he's in jail until the trial, which is probably a year. He is supposedly running for re-election. Pretty hard to do it from a jail cell. Who knows about votes on the Congress floor, et cetera. So, man, if he would really do that, then there's something very funky, I think, about these names that he's so desperate to protect. Or maybe he says at that point, just kidding, and accepts another blow to his credibility, lets their names be revealed. Either way, it's going to be one more interesting episode for the talented Mr. Santos. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.